FSS Hurricane is literally one of the most satisfying and dominant SMGs in Modern Warfare 2. With these certain attachments, you'll be dominating every lobby, just like how I got this nuclear gameplay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this. And if you are curious to unlock the Hurricane, all you have to do is go over to the progression, max out the M4, and then you unlock the FTAC Recon, max out the FTAC Recon, and then you unlock the Hurricane. And then there's only like 19, 22 levels, and so it only should take maybe like 2 hours. Okay, for the first attachment, I recommend you guys to add the FSS X7 barrel. This is just going to build in a suppressor to the weapon. For me, I really like to run suppressors on the weapon. It makes it a little bit harder for the enemies to find you. We don't have that classic minimap, so they're not as effective, but I still think they're pretty effective. So if you run this barrel, it's going to build in a suppressor, then you get some recoil control and some damage range, making this thing perform like an AR. Tried out the cannonade barrel and I like it, but I just don't like how we're losing so much mobility. When you're running this barrel, it's pretty much the same thing, but you're not losing as much mobility and you have a built-in suppressor. Next up, for the underbarrel, I recommend you guys to add the lock grip precision. In my last setup, I wanted you guys to run the pineapple grip, but I don't like how it's hurting the mobility that much, and the lock grip feels pretty much the same, but with less mobility. But with more mobility. For the muzzle, we're not going to be running one because we got that built-in suppressor. It is blocked off now. And then for the ammo, we're not going to be running an ammo. I know some people like Cujo, he likes to run the hollow point, but for me, I just don't think the hollow point is really that helpful in this game. And then for the laser, we're not going to be running that. If you do like the iron sights, I'll give you guys another setup for the weapon, but for me, I really like to run a red dot in this game. I've performed so much better. I actually can see my target. There's less visual recoil. My centering is better. Just always, when I'm running this Corona mini dot, I perform way better. So I do recommend you guys to try this out, but if you can do better without the sight, then just don't run a sight because then you have a free attachment. For the stock, we're going to be running the demo Quicksilver stock. This is just going to increase the overall mobility without hurting too much of our recoil control. If you're playing on a very tiny map, like I almost said like ship pass or shipment, but if you're playing on a very tiny map, then you could probably get away with running the demo Quicksilver collapse. But if you're running the Quicksilver stock, you are going to be able to use this weapon like an AR. Like, this is the best ranged SMG. It is so satisfying to use. Lastly, for the rear grip, we are going to be adding the X10 grip. Before, I was running the Phantom grip, but I just don't like how we're losing flinch resistance. You do get more mobility, which is nice, but you're going to have more recoil on the weapon. So if you want to use this weapon at like medium long range and you want to be able to win more gunfights because you'll have more like recoil, you'll have more flinch resistance, then I would run the X10 grip. Here's an overview of my favorite Hurricane setup, and I'm going to go over another very good setup. So if you don't want to run an optic on this weapon, you could honestly take the optic off, obviously. And then for the underbarrel, why did my underbarrel, dude, this game is so glitchy at times. You could add a laser. I don't think the lasers are too worth it in this game because they just show up to the enemies. Actually, this one doesn't show up on the enemy's radar, and so I guess this is another very good setup. For the last one I wanted to give you guys, so I haven't really tried this one out too much, but I have seen some other people run it and it seems pretty good. So you can pretty much take off that laser, switch this barrel to the cannonade, and then add some recoil control or suppressor if you want, and then we can go over to the stock, and then we can add the Quicksilver collapse. So this should be another very good setup, but I haven't really tried it out. By the way, if you're missing attachments, like you're trying to build this setup and then you just don't have the attachments for it, you actually have to go to each receiver, which is down here. So you got the M4, the M16, the Icarus, Recon, and the Hurricane. You got to go through and max out all these receivers because they're all part of the weapon family. If you tab over to the progression and you look at each attachments that each receiver will be unlocking, for example, the Hurricane, when you max out the Hurricane, you'll get all those attachments. And then when you max, dude, this UI is so bad. When you max out the Recon, you are going to be getting all of those attachments, and so all those attachments are universal. If I unlock a attachment for the M4, why is this UI so bad? If I max out a attachment for the M4, I can use those attachments on the Hurricane because they're all part of the same weapon family. Voiceover Cbass here. This is a nuclear or close to nuclear gameplay. I might have choked, but if you're trying to drop a nuke, make sure you pay attention. At 10:30 to like 2 p.m. I gotta hang out with him, which is fine. It's just like it was the worst weekend for anyone to come over. What was that? Because if not, I won't be able to stream till like 6 p.m. I missed so many shots. What am I doing? I'm a bot. I'm a hot bot. On the other side of this wall. This is the lobby, boys. This is where we drop the nuke.
We're losing Bravo.
I don't even know where I put that.
UAV is bingo for lost Charlie.
I think it's in center map. I just don't want to get blown up.
UAV disengaging. Securing objective Alpha.
I'm a loser. I know ADS warfare.
Taking Alpha.
13 boys. Are we gonna get the nuke?
Holds all objectives. Objective Alpha secure.
Oh my god, that was the best play in the world. He got anal fucked.
We've taken Bravo.
Changing maps.
Bravo secure.
Why are they playing so? Oh! They're playing slow. 17 boys, 13 more kills for the nuke.
Enemy securing Alpha. We're
You
taking
know what? We're gonna play this building because it's so broken. And the spawn. Yeah, we're getting sandwiched.
The enemy took Alpha.
And I don't have a nuke yet, so I really just want one nuke in the bag. And then I'll go for more of an aggressive nuke. So I'm gonna probably sit over here. I need UAVs if I'm gonna leave the spawn.
Ghost online.
Okay, Ghost online, that's good.
Securing Alpha. Bravo is compromised. We've lost all objectives. We have to turn this around now. Enemy UAV overhead. Changing max.
22. Are we gonna get this nuke, boys?
3 people on A.
Okay, I need you guys to capture flags. You guys can capture flags, we'll win this game. And I'll get the nuke. "23 boys, we need 7 more. Come on.
We're taking Alpha. The enemy is captured.
Dude, whoever gives me a UAV, I will love you forever. If you're able to somehow finesse one.
Friendly counter UAVs on station.
We still have a lot of time on the clock too, which is good.
Area. We're losing Bravo. Securing Charlie. We're losing Alpha. Enemy taking Bravo. Secure. Hold what you got. The enemy took Alpha.
No! Can we get some L's in the chat? I knew he was coming there, but I for some reason thought he went below me.